The brother back there, I was squirting him in his face. Look at that brother laid up. Because we don't want to train him. This is training. You know, they like they ready to get up and preach, but they have to know that it's church. So this ain't sleeping time. This ain't nap time. Because then, at the church, they're running toward the ditch. They all over the ground having good time. So there's a couple of, we ain't in church. So we was that type of church. We have to let church sleep back to church. We can leave in that. Them long services, yeah. Let them turn down. You know, a while. And then get hungry. And sleep come for hunger, good. Because you don't want to deal with that. So that's different. That's different. This little bit of time being here, you sure have to know this is not sleep place. It's time to go sleep a little bit. I used to make mine stand up because it's irritating to have to stand up and make them think. Like, Daddy gonna make me stand up. I'm like, you turn to go to bed on Saturday night because they know what's gonna happen on Sunday. They be standing back, standing straight up in the middle of the church. So it's all about teaching now. It's not about being mean, but it's teaching. It's teaching. The discipline is a part of teaching that comes with teaching. They used to discipline in school. That's why we learned more. We was disciplined. We got taught more. Nowadays, the children ain't learning much because they ruling. They ripping and running. And, it's all about their emotions and their feelings and they this and they that. And they ain't learning a thing. Coming out of school with diplomas. Sad. But I thank God. I'm excited about this word on today. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this will be Youth Minister Moon's first time preaching on a Heritage Sunday. But I know next Sunday is Father's Day, so I can tell you now that we preaching Father's Day. I'll continue about whatever. But happy. We'll say that hope we do too. but this the how the order we had it today. This is what God gave me from let's say last night. It was after 12 services. But I thank God because I know there's a word in the house. So I'm excited to hear this word. So without further ado, I'm gonna ask you to rest on your foot, as they say back. Put your hands together. Let us welcome none other than our very own youth pastor, DahQuell.
Everyone, praise him, Lord, everyone. I just want your word of prayer. Lord, I thank you for another day you let us live to see. Thank you for another Sunday. God, help me to just get out of the way. I'm here, but I'm ready to be used by you at the same time. Yes, son, Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Now you can turn it up a little.
Gotcha. Is that good? Good. A little better. There we go. All right. We thank God for the way our ministry works. Our apostle sends us the message the day before, and he couldn't explain it no better than what he did. That is perfectly the time to let God be God. If you're in this ministry and you're not really sure how God works, that's a prime example of how he works because he told me. But I was already asleep by that time, and I woke up, I think 2-ish, 3-ish, and I saw that like when the message comes, I'm just looking for YM to see where's my name. I don't care what it speaks to me. I don't have to. Nah, he acts and see the world according to our own perspective, and then move according to our own motives and selfish pursuit of comfort. The Bible clearly gives us instructions on what we should be doing, drawing folks to Christ through love. 3 scriptures he gave me behind that: John 12 and 32. That scripture reads, "If I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me." That it's not our job to try and come up with gimmicks, put on a show. I don't have to figure out how can I draw people to Christ. I don't have to do none of that. God simply says, if he be lifted up. How do you mean if he be lifted up? If I simply share my testimony, if I simply tell the goodness of God and how he's been to me, I know this world is making so many different things God now, so many different perspectives of energies and how they see rocks and how they see trees and stuff. That's cool. And I'm not degrading anybody's belief. You believe what you want to believe. That's you. I don't tell you what to eat at Golden Corral. You eat what you want. So from that, I understand from this scripture that once you start sharing your testimony, once you start spreading the love of God, and it's not so, oh, I'm just going to tell them my testimony today. That means be consistently loving. I don't have to love you today Prime example, because today seems like a good day. It's a great day. I got a pound, I got my offering, got the drums together, it's a great day. No, it's going to always be a great day because I simply choose not to have a bad day. I'm not saying stuff, take it on and just carry it like a book bag. And just be, nah, you don't need to be ready to broadcast bad news. The devil, you're fueling him, just giving him more credit. But what confuses me, D, is how come people gas the devil so much but don't say anything about God? All they do is talk about their problems. All they do is talk about how I'm going through, what's the subject I'm going through, how I'm going through, things like that. So I'm like, okay, so through all this, there has to be a good side to this. I've never seen a one-sided quarter. I've never seen a one-sided dollar. So there's obviously another side to this. The next scripture God gave me, Matthew 22, 37 through 39. That scripture is love thy neighbor as you love yourself. And specifically, if I wouldn't allow myself to run out in traffic, why would I just record you doing it? That's not funny. I don't know how people think that's funny. And be more specific in natural situations. If I know you're going through something that's not only troubling you, but kind of separating you from your morals, or separating you from the person that I know you to be, or that you could potentially be, I'm not going to allow you to do so. And it even goes down to the smallest things, like if I go to a restaurant and I order my food the way I ordered it, if it's on me, then I'll order your food if you allow me to. The things you allow me to experience. Allow me to share this same exact experience with you so you can understand that not everybody's like that. Not all church people are scammers. Not all church people have some type of gimmick, some type of string attached to anything I say. I don't want your money. I don't care about your money. And me personally, for my testimony, I've said it many times in church. I do not depend on my job because that check don't cover everything. It covers half, and not even half. It covers like a piece of half of something. So I don't depend on that money. I don't depend on nobody's time clock. I don't depend on nobody's, oh, if you do this, I'll do this for you. No, I've never been that type of person. The household I was raised in, we were shown how to do something, so I don't have to do it for you. So I took that, and now I made it into who I am as a person. I know how to do this, so I'll show you how to do it if you're willing to learn. And I think that's a problem in the church, Pastor. Nobody wants to take discipline. Nobody wants to take direction. Nobody wants to love this. And this world is so backwards. You have people wanting to be tough but want to be loved at the same time. People wanting to be so loving and caring, but nah, I don't want no attachments. I just want to love you from here. As long as I can touch you right here, we're good. That's weird. That's so bad. I don't understand this world. And a scripture that I read in my own time, when the world is going to start calling the things that are good evil, and the way that we have our rules and our guidance in the Bible, the world is going to start hating you for it. The world is going to hate you exactly how they hate Jesus. They're going to disregard you. They're not going to want to hear it. That's not saying, well, they don't want to hear it. God, I'm going to say it. No, you got to live it. You have to still live it. Even if, doesn't the Bible say, preach in season and out of season? It's the same exact with your actions. Of course, people are not going to have access to you all the time, but it's your actions. Prime example, celebrities do whatever they do on TV. You can't touch them, but it seems like you can keep up with their behavior patterns by watching them. You can keep up with everything they got going on. You can keep up with their families. You can keep up with their families. You can stay attentive to what's going on in their relationships with their kids, with their careers, everything. And this is all by actions. None of these celebrities talk to you. So you can't say, oh, well, they showed me how to. They didn't show you anything. They were living their life as it was being recorded to try and conform to the world. That's the whole point of us being separated. And the whole thing with Christians in the world, we're saved through God's grace. And this is what covers us in the pandemic. This is what covers us in sickness. This is what covers us in the things that we're going through. Because I don't say it like, oh, we don't go through things. We go through things, but we know how to go through things. And it's for us to teach you, or at least put it out there, like, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do this by yourself. You're not the only person who's experienced heartbreak. You're not the only person who's experienced eviction. You've never experienced a car revision by yourself. You're not the only person who's been fired, quit, or walked off of a job. Because you are not the only person who went to jail. You're not the only person who had some bad experience with customer service. You're not the only one. Apostle Paul in the Bible, he was in jail, bro, like for a long time, like multiple times. It was like, what you mean? And God's still using him. Moses had a speech impediment. So it's even small things like that. That lets me know that not only were these people real, but their situations were real too. And Queen Esther, she was young, became a queen through some pageant, I guess. And not only that, but she was shy. So shyness is a thing. So God knows how to deal with that. You being nervous to talk in front of people, God knows how to deal with that. Stubborn heart, God knows how to deal with that. So there's so many things that we go through. We seem like nobody understands. Nobody gets me. Nobody sees that it's just me. Nobody sees what I'm going through. God sees you. Of course, I can't see you. I don't have omnipresence. I don't even know how to do that. So the fact that God has that, that's for us to understand that we can always talk to God, and then God will guide you in the moments. But what I'm saying is, in those moments where you don't feel prepared, that's when God steps in. Exactly like I told you earlier, when getting this work together, I didn't have anything prepared. But in that moment, I just said, God, if you're going to use me, use me. Bam. And he just wrote it immediately. So God is always forever talking. And if you're not connected, you're going to miss out. The third scripture God gave me was Romans 8:35 and 39. That says, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? If every little thing that comes into your life separates you from God, you're not fit to be in this kingdom. You're not fit to be with us. You're not fit to be a part of the elite. That's how I feel. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I feel like I'm a part of an elite group. I feel like not only do I have to not react to the world, I don't have to respond to the world. I don't have to do everything they do. I don't have to talk like them, walk like them because it looks cool. Yeah, a way that seemeth right to a man always leads to death. So if everything you do, it just sounds right to you, now I'm getting a little iffy about our relationship, bro. You don't think you're wrong at all? Everything you say is correct? Wow. Cut off, and we're not friends anymore. It's that simple because I don't have to. Now, don't feel bad about cutting people off. There's no disguise that's leeches sometimes. Sometimes people just come to observant surveillance. That's the word I was looking for. Some folks friend you to surveillance for other people. Some people just want to be a part of your social media. Some people just want to be a friend to you in real life because they just want to use that friendship to get information and take it back to other people. So there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people would refer to, but Judas was around Jesus all the time. You're not Jesus, dude. You're not about to go get crucified on the cross. You don't have any godlike powers. But I would say that God gave us the power to do more. And that's what he said, and that's what he told us that we can do. So the scripture that God wanted us to focus on, Matthew 24. I read that whole thing. I'm going to just read through it, and we'll talk about it as we go. So Matthew 24 and 1 is where we'll be. And I'm going to start reading. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, then shall these things be? When shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Now listen to this. Verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Right there. I can focus on one app that's doing that right now. TikTok. Everybody has so much information, so much spiritual knowledge, so much of this, so much of that, but be the same exact people still going through something. If you're that knowledgeable about your family, personal matters, I know that God can control it. To understand, the only thing in this entire physical world you can control is your body. You can't control your shirt. You can't control your shoes. You can't control the individual grasp on that concept. Our reaction will be different. Our responses will be different. Everything will actually change. It will actually change. The world will change, everything like that, because the only thing that puts us in the situation for this position we're in the world now is communication. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be top dog. Everybody wants to be the one in charge. Everybody wants that presence when they come into a room. You don't have to do that. You don't need to do that. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own point of view, their own way of seeing life. So respect, obviously, but also love. In love, I'm going to be silent because I don't want to start it. It's bringing peace. I know it might be wrong. It might be right. It might be whatever. But in the understanding that you're just a human just like me and expressing how you feel on a situation, that's cool. I don't need to be like, no, that's wrong. No, I don't have to do that because now other people are going to put up defenses. Now you start wars. Now you have political problems. You just have to respect and respond in love. Verse 5 goes on to say, Jesus talking, for many shall come in my name saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we're going to have to go through all of this. Being in the middle of wars, the middle of disagreements between countries, we're going to have to see this. But that doesn't mean, oh, the world about to end. They're about to blow us up. No, no. It has to happen, but it's not the end. And it goes on to say in verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. I'm one of those people who really finds interest in things like the four horsemen or details. And when it says pestilence, I wanted to look that up, and I want to hope my phone don't back up today. So that's a part of the four horsemen. I know that for sure. So we're just going to get a little clear more definition on that. What exactly pestilence is. There we go. Pestilence, a fatal disease, especially bubonic plague, neither prayers nor demonstrations halted the advance of the pestilence. So it's basically a plague. I would say COVID is a plague, honestly. If it locks down the entire world, if it stops businesses, if it stops things like that, that's what it is. And I think people are looking for something super demonic and really spiritual. Nah, what you see is what it is, because God's not going to bring something that happened in Egypt like the plague of locusts. Not going to bring that from the Bible so you can be like, oh, this is so biblical. No, I'm bringing what you understand. Right. I'm bringing something you can see, something you know, this is real. This is not something that happened 2,000 years ago. No, I was locked down in my house for real. I couldn't go to work for real. So everything that's going to happen, you're going to be able to understand it. And this is the same exact thing with God talking to you. He only talks to you in ways that you understand. He only through people who you know real, who you know been through things. This is the key point of us getting saved. And from what we've been through, from the crowds you've been around, you being saved is like, okay, I believe it. That dude killed people, and I saw it. That girl robbed everybody, and nobody saw her, but I saw her. And now she's legit being this. Okay, so I can believe it. I can roll with that. So we go into verse. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. Oh, yeah. I had to pause on that part. I'll read it again. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. I find peace in that. Because if I have to die for Jesus, that means I'm secure. That means my place in heaven is secure. All those good things you heard about when you were a kid, having the streets paved with gold, having a whole mansion, and having a robe of white, things like that. You get to spend time with Jesus himself. You get to even go in the throne room of God. Now, I'm not sure about that part, because even the angels in heaven don't do that. But the fact that I get to actually talk to Jesus, you know how many things, just think about that for a second. Not even how many